What's going on, people? People, this is Rasta Stocks with African King, the Chelsea fan. You know, I just want to say thanks for coming on the show. Pause. And uh, my first question for you: Why Chelsea, bro?
It's an interesting one. Why Chelsea? Growing up, I lived close to Stamford Bridge. It was like a 5-10 minute walk away. And what's interesting is that both my parents supported Arsenal, but my
Wait,
mum,
wait, wait,
yeah,
wait, 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 wait,
yeah,
wait.
yeah,
Continue.
but the thing is, because we live so close to to Stamford Bridge, my mum's first game she took me to was at Stamford Bridge because them times there you could go to the stadium outside the stadium and then there would be people that would sell the tickets. So
Yeah.
you could go up to a person, she bought the tickets from them, and then we watched the game.
Mhm.
And then there was a guy named Gianfranco Zola. There was a
Mhm.
guy named Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, and I fell in love with the club from then. Also, at the time, my favorite color was blue.
Bless up,
So
Ray. Yeah.
for me, I always liked the color blue. So when I saw a team wearing blue, I saw a little Italian. I saw Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank hitting rocket shots, and I watched that game. And then I was like, from there, I was hooked. And it was just every time I would like wake up or be around like the game time, you could hear the cheering of the fans from the stadium because I was so close. So you would know when they scored a goal, you would hear it.
Mhm.
So it just became the team that I just went on to follow. But yeah, it was by chance that she took me to Stamford Bridge first. If she took me to Highbury first, I would have probably been an Arsenal fan because at
Okay.
that
Okay.
time I actually liked the way Arsenal played football when I was growing up. So for
Uh huh.
me, it was just one or the other, and it just turned out to be Chelsea because we're so close. Just proximity, going to the games, going to Stamford Bridge a couple times, enjoying what I see. I ended up meeting Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank in the Chelsea store. So yeah, it just went on from there.
Nice, 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 bro. So you grew up in a household where your parents was Gunners, and you were a Chelsea fan.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to explain that to me in a little bit more detail, bro. Because, bro, I'm like, if I ever have a children, if I have a child, I don't have children yet, and they ever tell me, oh, they supporting the main rival for me? Oh hell no, no, no. You're not my children anymore. So explain this, bro. Explain this to me.
Oh, well, I think for them because I'm not really sure what the how they felt at the time, but because obviously we were near as I said, we were near the bridge, and I
Hmm.
would go to games there more than I only went to Highbury once. I went to Stamford Bridge about 4 or 5 times growing up, so I
Hmm.
just liked that team. The team blue was my color. That's what it was. Like when you're growing up, like the things that you associate with the club is the color, the players, and things of that nature. So it
Hmm.
just turned out to be Chelsea, but I never really asked my parents why how they felt about it. But at the same time, they were big fans, but they're not like, the crazy ones that are gonna tell you what to do. They're not the kind of people that do that. So
Hmm.
for them,
Hmm.
I think um it was fine, I think. Because for me, like when I say I don't like Arsenal fans, they're not the type of Arsenal fans I don't like because they actually just support the club. They watch the game, they watch any football. Like they would whatever they need to do to watch football, they're gonna get they're gonna get Sky, they'll get BT, they'll get whatever it takes. So they're not just watching Arsenal, they're watching Champions League, Europa League, they're watching other leagues. So
Hmm.
they were just they instilled me just to be a fan of football. And so football comes first, then the club kind of thing, rather than there are people out there that the club comes first, then everyone else. So I think that's just the way they were. It was
Hmm.
the football first. They knew when they saw a great player, they saw a great player. They knew when they saw a bad player, they saw a bad player. So that's what they
Hmm.
instilled in me, really.
Okay, so tell me the first time you seen your club lift the first title or the first trophy you seen your club lift.
First one that I can remember was the FA Cup.
Mm.
It was the first one in the new Wembley because I remember at the time they were talking about Chelsea being the club to lift the FA Cup last in the old Wembley
Hmm.
and first in the new Wembley. And I think obviously I was real young around that time, so I think it was the time when pretty sure Dennis Wise was the captain. So around them times. So that was the first like fully trophy. But like the first couple years, I wasn't really like you're a kid, so you don't really understand what's happening, but you're watching it. You're looking at it. You're saying, okay, you're seeing these people lift trophies. So I didn't understand the significance of it at the time. But then obviously when Roman came in, that's when the trophy started falling in. So that's when you kind of I remember more rather.
Mm,
But the FA Cup was the first one. Dennis Wise.
mm. So speaking of Roman Abramovich, I felt like he came in and just revolutionized football in a whole, because he was the owner that was an actual fan, you know, and he brought in a manager that both managed our club, the special one, you know. So tell me about the Abramovich era, bro, in your eyes and ears experience, bro, because I ain't gonna lie, man, you guys overtook us when we was dominating.
Yeah. But it was a weird one because the season before he really took over, we had Ranieri, right? And
Hmm.
that was the first real season, and we finished second to the invincible Arsenal. And at the time, I was like, okay, so but the season before that, we finished fourth. He takes over, we finished second the next season, and it looks like a guy that just wants to spend money, and then any name is possible. Growing up when you think, oh, I can buy any player, that's what I was thinking, because the way he was spending money, the players he was bringing in, it was exciting. It was like being a kid in a candy shop when it came to football. Like any name I could think of, like even being linked to like Ronaldinho's and players of that ilk, it was unheard of for me at till that point. So
Hmm.
when he came in, it was like okay, and then this Portuguese manager, and then the famous quote, "I am this special one, I am a European
Yep,
champion."
champion.
I remember that interview like it was yesterday, and from then it was.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to be that much where he would actually go on to do the things, because as a fan you can hope for something, but when your team hasn't been that team, and
Hmm.
and they're telling you Chelsea hasn't won a title for 55 years. Chelsea hasn't done this for this many years. Like we
Mm.
were in the 90s and early 2000s, we were like Tottenham. We'd win a trophy here or there, but none of the majors. And
Mm.
it brought us to another level, really, because the money he was putting in, the players we were getting, Drogba's, Robbins, Makelele's, um, including the current players that we already had, it just brought us to a new level, and it was joyful. I ain't gonna lie to you, being able to to see your team win week in week out, knowing that your team had the chance to win every game, it was probably some of the best kind of football moments I had, because that first season it just felt like it was never ending, and to see that first Premier League lift, I'm gonna lie, I can't really describe the feelings I had that day, because it was like, oh man, it was
Euphoric.
when
It was euphoric. It was
yeah,
euphoric. Like
yeah,
wow, I can't believe this, bro.
yeah.
Listen,
I
that
didn't
that's
expect it. No,
bro. That's
I
that.
never expected it.
Trust me. That's the first time I seen us lift our first Champions League trophy in 2008 against humans, bro.
Yeah,
Against humans, and I said, if what's his name didn't slip, we would have lost. And I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe we did it. We did it. You know. So, in all of Chelsea's players' history, right?
yeah,
Who's your favorite player of all time?
all time.
New
I,
generation and old generation.
I have it in terms of like three gens. So growing up, for me, it was Zola.
Hmm.
As a kid. Then the middle bit, which what I call the Abramovich era, that kind of era for me, out of all those players, it was Drogba.
Hmm.
Um, Drogba, and I would even give a second option to Ashley Cole. I really like Ashley Cole because I played left back, and then at the end,
Yeah.
the modern day era for me was Eden Hazard, just because
And
for me,
y'all got Ashley Cole from Arsenal, bro.
yeah, yeah,
That was that was cold blooded.
that's what made it sweeter.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the new era, I would say Eden Hazard, and then even the current team right now, I really like Caicedo. I think he's my favorite player.
Maurice
But
Caicedo, yes.
special mention to also Kante as well. Kante, that little
Mm.
man as well. So yeah, man,
N'Golo
there's a
Kante.
plethora of players. It's just like for me, I liked the three types of players I like. I like a bully striker like a Drogba. I like a DM, which the originator of that was Makelele. He was my first proper DM, and I
Hmm.
just like a flair player. If I have those three things in my team, I know I'm good. I know I'm good. That's what I need. I need a bully striker, I need a proper DM, and I need a flair player. If I got those three, I can watch the game, and that's when Chelsea are at our best. In the Roman era, it was like the Joe Coles, and then your bully striker was your Drogbas, then the Makaleles. Then it went on to the Cantes and the Hazards and stuff like that. And your bully striker was Costa. We right now we don't have a bully striker, and we have a fair player in Cole Palmer. We have a DM in Casado. We just need that bully striker. That's what I need.
Mm.
I need that
Yeah,
big striker.
one thing I remember about Drogba, he loved scoring against Arsenal. Bro,
Yeah.
he made it his personal mission. Every time he played against y'all, he needed to score. Arsenal, sorry.
Yeah, it made
And
it easy. It made it easy when going up against Arsenal fans, because every time we would just be Drogba,
yep. And I'm
Drogba.
and I remember when he left to go to Galatasaray and he came back, people said he was too old. There's a reason why Jose brought him back, because you see when it comes to finals, Drogba turns up for finals. And a lot of people don't really necessarily, other football fans give him his ratings. I do, bro. Bro, anytime Drogba played against Man United, bro, I was afraid, bro, because bro, I don't know where this man was gonna shoot from. Like, sometimes his outside the box goals, bro, was just crazy for me, bro. I'm just like, no, he didn't just do that.
Mm,
No, in the hell, he did not just do that, bro. And I'm like, his control, his precision. If he gets the ball, he's putting in the corner, in the top corner. It's going in the top corner. If it's going in the lower bottom corner, it's going to bro. He made sure he put the ball in the net, bro. He made sure, bro. And I know when y'all was playing Barcelona, I know Barcelona got knocked out of the Champions League the other day. I know you Chelsea fans was happy about that
yeah,
because I remember that season when I watched the Champions League, bro. Y'all got robbed. Not gonna lie, y'all got
yeah,
robbed. And I tell Barcelona fans, I said, don't think your club is innocent. Cause they like to say Man United is not innocent. I know my club is not innocent. We gotta win the shit, but y'all were paying referees off, and it's a
yeah,
proven fact. And I'm not saying this to banter or start shit, but it is a proven fact. You know.
yeah.
So if you were at the club right now, right? Let's just say you were like a sporting director, CEO, whatever. What are some of the things you'll change at the club?
At the club, I've changed the policy in terms of the players we bring in. I think we're on the cusp of something great because obviously we have a plethora of talent. We have Esteval Willian coming in. The things we need is a leader at the back in terms of a leader center back. We need a proper winger, and we need as I said, we need a bully man striker. So for me, those are the three positions I'd be looking at to bring in.
Hmm.
And in terms of centre backs, I would look at a Mark Guehi. I think he's been a leader at every club he's been in, at every level of England as well. So I'd bring him in, and he's a Cobham graduate as well, so he knows the club. In terms of wingers, left wingers, it's
Hmm.
either for me, it's either like I need a guy that's had multiple seasons of doing high level. So it could be, for me in terms of the wingers, I want Embuemo. I want
And
Embuemo
bueno,
because I want
yes.
someone like him. And if anything, I would get even two wingers. I'd get an Embuemo on one side, and then I'd get
Mm.
someone from outside of England, like a Liao, just so that we have something different from Neto and Madueke. Because at the moment, we only have two wingers. I think Sancho is probably going to go back to United. I'm going to pay that that fee, that 5 million
Mhm.
fee to send him back to United, and I need two wingers.
I needed y'all
And
to
then I'm
keep that
buying a
man.
striker, and then I'm buying a
Mm.
striker. And for me, the striker is Osman. I just need a gunman.
Bro, I wanted Ozyman, man, but I wanted Ozyman because I wanted y'all to buy Sancho, the freedom fighter. Speaking of
Yeah,
Sancho,
yeah.
how is he playing for y'all? Because I haven't really watched Sancho like that.
He has his good moments, but I've said this before and I'll say it again. He's the kind of player that, for me, doesn't suit England. And if he is going to play in England, he needs to play in the middle in a 10 role. And the 10 role isn't something that many teams play with.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we have Cole Palmer in that 10, so we can't play him there. But him down the middle in England would work. But I think
Hmm.
as a winger, he'd be better off going to Germany, Spain, Italy, place where they're more kind of less pace and power and more tactical. Because in terms of his ball ability, he's got it. He can beat a man. He can doubles up a man. He's
Mm.
he's he's been when he's on point, he's not making a man saying ole, all of that. So he's good in those things, but it's not consistent enough to the level where you can beat a man all the time. So for me, he just doesn't suit the league, and I feel like for a player like him, he would be better off going into Europe.
So, so
European slower down style of football.
so in the Premier League, scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate him in the Premier League scale of 1 to 10?
He's been like a 5 or a 6, like a
And
5
in,
or a
and,
6.
and and in Europe, you name him like a 7 and 8.
Yeah, he's more like an 8 in Europe. Like he's
Mm.
European style football is more suited to his game. Just the nature of England. England is all about the pace and power because all the fullbacks you're coming up against are quick, rapid, young. So for you, you need to be able to beat them 1-on-1, and if you can't, I don't like the fact that you just turn around and pass it back and recycle. That's not a winger to me. I want you to be
Mm.
able to get to the byline or get inside and either take a shot or get to the byline and cross it. If you can't do those two things on a consistent basis in the Premier League, then yeah, you got to move somewhere else.
Mm. So in your vast squad of players, bro, because you might have a lot of players, bro. Like
Yeah.
I think like 30 plus players now.
Hmm.
30 plus players.
Yeah. A
Who
load
who
of
would
man
you?
on loan as well.
Yeah. Who would you keep and who would you sell?
I'd have to actually pull up the team.
Cause
um,
bro,
oh,
yup, you might have like what 8 or 9 goalkeepers, bro.
yeah. I think for the goalkeeper situation, it's very easy for me. I'm selling Sanchez. I'm bringing back the guy that's at Strasbourg, Petrovic, and starting him. And then
Hmm.
the younger one, I think it was Penders or Kenders or whatever his name is, the Belgium. I'm sending him to Strasbourg for 2 seasons for him to learn in the French league because I think he just needs to play European football consistently for 2 seasons, and then he can be a goalkeeper for the future. In
Mm.
terms of the defense, both my right backs are fine. I probably need another left back because we only have Cucurella. In terms of centre backs, I'm moving on Trevor Chalobah, even though I like him. It's just not gonna work out. I think he deserves to be starting somewhere rather than being on our bench.
He was
Uh,
at loan at Crystal Palace recently.
yeah. If anything, I'd send him to Crystal Palace and bring back Wehi. I'll do that as like
Mm.
a swap deal. I the Sassy's on loan, sell him. Uh, if I would I'm not sure about Badashile. It's a 50-50 whether I keep him or sell him. If we buy 2 centre backs, I'll sell him. If we only buy 1 centre back, I'll keep him. Um, Tosin, I'm selling. And then Levi Colwell and Fofana, I'm keeping. In terms of midfielders, I'm selling. The only midfielder I'm really selling is Drewsbury Hall. The rest of them I'm keeping.
Hmm.
Drewsbury Hall selling. The Amugu is going to Strasbourg anyway, and then we're bringing back Santos. We got Isugo coming from Sporting, so our midfield is sorted. And then wingers, as I said, Sancho, you can go back to United. Mudrik, whenever his whatever his situation is, he has to be moved on, and we need to buy 2 wingers. So I,
Yo. It's funny you mentioned Mudrik. I think that Mudrik is so concerned about being one of the man them instead of playing football.
yeah, I really don't know what's happening with him. I don't know if he's got a ban or not, but I think he just has to be moved on at this point. Take the loss and when he
Mm.
comes back, move him on. And then in terms of strikers,
Mm.
We only have one striker in Jackson, and I'll loan him out to Strasbourg or to a European club for him to get some game time. Uh, Outside of that, any other players that I missed? No, that's it. I think
So,
every
so, so
any other guy that's out on loan, sell them. So Sterling, the likes of Bashir Humphreys, players like that, and Tyreek George and Ashimpong, either keep them or loan them out, depending if
mm,
they're gonna get the game time. Because I think them two would be good if they got like championship loans or Premier League team loans where they can play week in week out.
so, you've been saying that, right? So how do you rate Todd Bowley's Chelsea project?
At the moment, I would rate it a 3 or a 4 because we spent 1.5 billion and we still have holes in our team. And the first summer was dreadful. We're still dealing with the consequences of that first summer with the likes of Sterling free on really ridiculous money. Um, the moment we got the sporting directors in, it was a bit better because we've reduced our wage bill and stuff like that. So that kind of stuff is good. The youngsters we're bringing in, the talent, long-term contracts, I like that. In terms of all
Hmm.
the stuff all the rules that we're going around to have long-term contracts, being able to spend more, that's all good. And
Y'all got Quenda recently.
yeah, Quenda as well. He's a guy that we for the future. So in terms of the future of my team, it's looking bright. But
Mm,
I want us to be winning things, and at the moment we haven't won anything under this ownership. So for me, it's a failure at this point.
mm.
I would say,
Well. You are playing a final in the next couple of days,
yeah.
so there's a
We're playing
possibility.
a final today and on Wednesday. These two games are going to define how the project goes. Because if we lose them,
Mm,
the project's on a standstill. If we win them, Champions League football and a trophy, then okay, we're on the upward trajectory. We're getting more money. We can probably go for the bigger
mm.
targets that I want us to go for, and the names will be linked to. But I just don't like that we're linked the kind of players we're linked to. Like we're linked to Garnacho, Gittins, um, Sesko, who else?
Do
Jao
me a favor,
Pedro.
buy Garnacho, please. Buy Garnacho, please. We,
Nah,
we take we take back freedom fighter if you buy Garnacho.
no, I would even though Garnacho is but it's more suited for the Prem than Sancho. I
Hmm.
wouldn't want either one of them. I need starting 11 caliber players in my team at the moment, and neither
Mm.
of those guys are. And that's the
But
problem. That's the only thing that I don't like about this ownership sporting directors is they're not getting the big bad boy players that can put us to the level. If you look at what Liverpool are doing, for example, uh, with the players they're trying to sign, like that's what I want my team to be on. My team used to be on that. Like when we were going for Casado and Lavia, I was like, yeah, okay, I can see this. Young get if you're gonna get young talent, get the best in class. Go for the greatest, best young talent and go for them. Because if you're not getting the best in class, you're gonna just end up losing because these players have a ceiling. And when it comes to young players, you never know what's gonna happen. They can get an injury, they can be injury prone like a Fofana, there's things that can happen. So sometimes another thing is age is a factor as well. Age equals experience. Experience makes you win. That's what was so great about the Chelsea teams of the past is that they had guys that were leaders, and that's the one thing we're lacking as well. We're lacking leadership as well.
mm, so Chelsea project needs correcting.
Yeah, a
Which
bit. Yeah, definitely.
which you which from your obvious opinion and your obvious observation, I I as an outsider have to take your word for it. Because I don't really too know much about Chelsea per se, but
Yeah,
I do see like this in the next 2 years. If you guys do get your act together, you guys could start challenging for the league because Arsenal, when I wanted them to win the league, what happened, bro? Look what happened.
yeah,
Now Liverpool. It's funny you mentioned Liverpool because Liverpool is going to have. God, I don't want to say it, but I feel like they're going to be serious contenders next season. My
yeah,
my 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 club really broke me. They gave Spurs the first trophy ever in 17 years. You know how heartbroken that is for me as a United fan. That
Yeah,
we
yeah, I understand that. Losing to a rival in a big final is you mentioned earlier 2008. Yeah, that day I cried. I cried, I cried, and I cried even some. The way that when Terry missed, and you know what the fact is, people don't understand. Before that, Drogba got sent off. That was meant to be his penalty. That was meant to be his penalty, and it was Terry, and he slipped, and we lost that final. And you know when you get to a Champions League final and lose it, you
hmm
never think you're gonna get there again. So that moment there, I was
bro,
heartbroken. I
bro,
was
bro,
heartbroken. So
and the
I
crazy
understand.
thing, the crazy thing for me, this manager is keep playing Erasmus Hoyland, right?
Mm,
And this manager is just thus far for me. I know it's not his fault, but I consider it a failure. You know why I
mm,
consider it a failure? Because, bro, you know Rasmus Hoyland is not good. Why
yeah.
did you start him? Why do you keep playing him even if you know he's not good? Right? Second, for me, right, is the fact that you say you know the problems, you see the frustrations on the fan's face. Why didn't you do everything in your power to make sure we win this final? You made the wrong substitutions at the wrong time, you know? And bro, I'm telling you, I'm giving this manager 10 games next season. I'm only giving him 10 games because I'm halfway out, right? But this is not about Man United. This is about Chelsea. So I do feel like you guys are gonna beat Real Betis. You feel me?
Yeah,
And who you guys playing? Who you guys play again?
Nottingham Forest away today.
Nothing in Forest. They're tough. They're tough.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one.
They're tough. If you do get a draw, you still qualify for Europe.
Yeah, but
You still get Champions League,
no, it'll be Europa League depending on the
Europa League,
results.
Europa
Yeah,
League. But either or, you win a trophy, you get Europa League. You win today, you get Europa League. And that's the thing. You guys are going back into Europe, and the
yeah,
fact that we gave Spurs European money to strengthen their coffers to buy better players now. Imagine if Spurs start challenging for shit now because of us. And we will get blamed for that. But let's hope not.
yeah.
Let's
I
hope
don't
not,
think I
man.
don't think they will because I think they're going to keep their manager, and if they keep their manager, I think they're going to have a bad season next season.
Let's hope, please. Hope. Let's hope, please, because I don't want.
I'm hoping.
I don't, bruv. I want us to beat them 4-0 next season. 4-0. That's what I'm hoping for. But let's see if it happens. So,
Mm.
so what's your favorite goal you've seen a Chelsea player score?
Favorite goal? Oh, there's two that comes to mind. One because of the brilliance of it in terms of a pass, and one just because of the way it was done. The first one is can't remember what season it was, but it was Fabregas, and the pass that he made to Schürrle,
Mm-hmm.
the incision of that pass, it was one of the was one of the most insane passes that I ever seen because it he kind of faked it to like he was gonna shoot, and he just like tapped it towards Schürrle, and then Schürrle ran in, and it wasn't the goal per se, it was just that pass. Sometimes I just like the beautiful things, and that was
Mm.
one. Um, the second one for me is Hazard versus Arsenal, where he made Coquelin do the spinner Rooney, dribble him and pass man from the halfway line.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Was it the game that y'all beat them 5-0?
Um, I'm not sure if I don't know. I think so. I think we did beat them that game, but I don't know, can't remember the result. I'm not really
Mm.
good with the memory thing.
Mm. Cause
But
I know y'all beat them 5-0 one time.
yeah, but that goal, just because it was just brilliance. It was just Eden Hazard at his best. And then the third one was against, I think it was against Everton. Drogba hit on the chest, turn around,
I
half
remember that.
volley.
I
Bang.
remember that. I remember that. I remember that. And bro, for me, Drogba, bro, one thing with Drogba, he's so unpredictable. You don't know how he's gonna shoot, if he's gonna run in, dribble past you, or take the long distance. Listen, for me, bro, Drogba kind of remind me of a young version at that time of Clarence Seedorf. Some people will say I'm crazy for that because those long distance shots. Clarence Seedorf was the only player I really seen been doing them at that time. You feel me? So
Yeah.
that's just my opinion. Obviously, some people might say I'm crazy for saying that, but Drogba, man, that Jose know how to pick strikers. I tell you that.
Yeah, he definitely does. I think that's what he's best at, really. I think the two things he's best at are picking strikers and making people want to die for him on that pitch.
Hmm.
And that's what you see with a Jose team. That's why he went 9 years without losing at home. Because every place he went to, he made it a fortress. Whether it was Porto, Chelsea, Madrid, Inter,
Hmm.
wherever he went, it was a fortress. And the things that he did at each club, yeah,
So so
he
so
is the special one.
so, may I ask you a question? If you think Abramovich never sacked Jose, you think he would have won y'all more titles?
Yes, I think so. But it's a gift and a curse because that's what Abramovich was on. If you didn't get along with him or if you weren't doing what he wanted you to do, he would move you on. And it led to us to be very successful. And we had some great managers. I love the season where we had underneath Ancelotti. I enjoyed the season underneath Conte. So there was other great managers that I wish would stay for longer.
So so
But for
so 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 wait a second. Was Conte at Tottenham first, or was he at Chelsea? I don't remember first.
Chelsea first, Chelsea.
Mm,
Yeah.
should have never went to Spursy, bro.
Yeah.
Should have never went to Spursy, bro.
Yeah. But for him, Ancelotti for me, in terms of the actual football, in terms of watching it, Ancelotti was the best because his style of football, the way he allowed players to attack and everything, that season right there where the most goals we ever scored in the Prem season, that style
Hmm.
of football, I think that was when we were at our peak for me. That was peak Chelsea in terms
Mm.
of Ancelotti season. And I think he's the one that I would have kept for longer. But that's what Roman was. Roman was okay, you're not doing the job, move on. You're not doing the job, move on. So it's a gift and a curse that you don't get the long term success, but you get like the
Mr. Abramovich was very ruthless. I tell you that.
yes,
Mr.
yes,
Abramovich was ruthless. But listen,
yeah,
as an owner, you want your club to win shit. You feel me?
exactly.
That's what you want. You're not settling for second place, or if you're gonna come second, third, or fourth, win me a domestic trophy.
Yeah.
Bring me something other than Champions League. But so if you could go back in time and say no, don't sack him, what would you tell Roman Abramovich not to sack? Angelotti.
To be honest, for
Mm,
I think because it was the best foot style of because that's what he wanted. He wanted winning with style of football. And I think I would have told him that this is the best marriage. I think if you give Ancelotti the right players and the right amount of time, he would have been able to build something special. And if anything, you've seen what he did with Madrid. He got them Champions League after Champions League after Champions League. So
yeah, exactly, exactly.
so
He's Real Madrid most decorated manager, bro.
yeah, yeah. So he's won a title in every league. He's done it all. He's done it all. He's one of those managers that like he was so good. He went to Everton just to do a side mission. He said, "You know what? Let me go Everton for a little bit just to put my feet on the ground." That's why I like him and I like Jose so much because they're willing to
Mm.
go to clubs that no one else is going to, even if they're that high level manager. You know what I mean?
All right, Hugh. If you, anything you say, Hugh. So, like how Angelotti is going to Brazil. So
Yeah,
you think Brazil is gonna start balling again? Cause he
yeah,
cause he,
because
he already he already said he wants back Casemiro.
yeah, they are. You know why? Because the one thing that Ancelotti is great when it comes to attackers is he just says, express yourself. And that's what Brazil
Mm,
is. Brazil at its scintillating best in like the early 2000s, they just expressed themselves. And I think you looked at them from the international form the last like 5 years, they
yeah,
haven't been that. They've been
yeah,
they've been trying to
yeah,
copy the
yeah,
European style kind
bro,
of having a system. Nah, Brazilians just get the ball,
bro,
beat a
bro,
man, two
I
man,
saw,
three man.
I saw it when they played against Argentina. Argentina slapped them, bro.
Yeah, man.
Slapped them wickedly, bro. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, they need to go back to the roots of just balling out because that's when they're at their best. When a Brazilian loves football and he loves what he's doing on that pitch, that's when he's at his best. You can't you that's why another example of a Brazilian like Saviola would know. I don't think he's ever going to truly work at City because you can't turn a Brazilian into a robot. That don't work in the long
exactly,
run. It doesn't work.
exactly.
You need
And
him
And
to
you
flourish.
saw how Pep got rid of Ronaldinho?
Yeah, yeah. Because Ronaldinho wasn't a robot. He
Nope,
wasn't.
nope. No man, Ronaldinho was a baller, man. Yo, for me, bro, I love Ronaldinho's first touch.
Mm,
I love Ronaldinho's first touch.
yeah.
And hold on one second, bro. Sorry, bro. Sometime at night, I be hearing stuff moving because people live above me. So like I hear
Yeah.
stuff drop. So I'm like, what the hell is that? So, bro. So why do you think most people like to copy Pep Guardiola's style?
Why? I think I think when it comes to football, there's always someone copying someone because I think Pep's original style came from the Dutch total 90 style, if
Yeah,
you think about it. So there's always an influence. Like if you look at like the Klopp style, that came from the heavy metal kind of German type style that was from Ragnick. So I feel
yeah,
like in football, there's the top guy and there's managers underneath that are like the guys that follow his style of football. That's why you get your Enzo Marescas, your Mikel Artetas. They all come from the school of like Pep's thought. So you get teams playing the similar way. But
yeah, yes.
I prefer it when teams are playing different styles because styles make fights, right?
Uh
So
huh.
if you're able to do something different to Pep, then you can beat him. That's what Onslaught did. That's what Jurgen Klopp did. That's how you beat Pep. That's what Jose Mourinho did when he went to Madrid. Um, you beat him by playing a different style. You get under his skin. You get into his head.
Mind
So
games and the mind games, bro.
yeah,
Yo, I think that's the reason why Pep left Barcelona, man. The mind games.
yeah. So I think because Pep's been so successful, I think people want to emulate that kind of success, but at the same time, it makes the game a bit more boring in terms of you're not seeing different things. So it's just a thing that I think football is like in cycles. Um, so in when I started growing up, it was 4-4-2. Then it went to 4-3-3. Then people started using three at the back when Conte came. Then now people are doing the Pep style. I think everything has its moment, and then eventually it'll. I reckon maybe in 2, 3, 4 seasons, 4-4-2 will be a thing again because a lot of teams play with three at the back and two strikers occupying three defenders. That can actually get you the momentum. And if you see teams that are playing with two up top, they're getting a lot of joy out of certain games. So I think just things happen in cycles, and I think things come in and out of style. For example, the 10 is not in style right now, but eventually it will come back in style because like that's what I loved. I love tens growing up as well. You know
Mm.
your Zola, your Dennis
For me,
Bergkamps, your Kakas, your Zidanes, those guys that played
yes,
the 10
Zidane.
role.
Zidane was, to me, was the best 10 growing up for me as a little kid. Because yes, I like Wayne Rooney, but Wayne Rooney started out as an eight.
Yeah,
A lot of people don't know that Wayne Rooney was not always a 10. You know what I mean? So for me, my uncle said his favorite player other than Maradona was Zinedine Zidane, bro.
yeah,
Because he said when Roberto Carlos passed him a volley, the man just did a spin kick and the ball went in the net. He said, "Go on YouTube and watch that clip." Bro, I went on YouTube and I watched that clip like 15 times. I'm like, yo, I kind of see why my uncle liked this Zidane guy. You know? So yeah, man. football, man. It changed now. It's so copycat and
Yeah.
everybody got a yeah. Nobody has their style. Nobody want to give the players freedom. No,
Mm,
they do it this way. In this team I see that does that, Arsenal. The manager want the players to play it this way. I'm like, if it don't work for them, if they can't score goals for them, give them a little freedom. Because if you give them a little freedom, they're going to be goals. But no, this robotic and copy and Pep football, it works for Pep, so it has to work for me. No, it's not. Because
yeah.
you're not Pep Guardiola. You're not.
Exactly.
But when you tell Arteta that the arrogancy he has in his press conferences, bro, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But what can we say, bro? Football has changed. So who in all the Premier Leagues, who you think was the most, other than Ferguson, who you think is the most decorated manager?
Other than Ferguson, in terms
Mm-hmm.
of
It's Premiership, other
yeah,
than Ferguson.
it's it's
Who
a it's a weird one for me. I think recency bias would tell you Pep because obviously he did 4 in a row and stuff. But for me, I would put Jose above him. So I would say Jose would be the guy. Just
mm,
because if you think about it, he came from the Portuguese league, which is a league that not many people know about or watched beforehand. And he came in and he said he's the special one. And in his first season, he won the league. The second season, he did back to back. For him to come in and say that and then do back to back league,
speaking of special one.
I have to say this. We have top players, and I'm sorry, I'm a bit arrogant. We have a top manager. Again, please don't call me arrogant because what I'm saying is true. I'm European champion, so I'm not one of the bottle. I think I'm a special one.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I had to play that clip, bro. I had to play that clip. The minute you said it, I'm like, no, I gotta play this clip.
yeah. For me, it was him because I feel like the way he did it was different, was so different. And even when
Mm,
he came back and then won again, like it's like you can tell that he's just a different level of manager in terms of thought, in terms of how players talk about him, how people feel about him, like the emotions that he gets out of the players. It's another level, really. The only guy, as you said, the only guy that done it more than him was Sir Alex. Sir Alex was a one of a kind of guy. So yeah,
hmm
for me, Jose, and then third would be Wenger because I Wenger's style of football when he first came in, what he did for Arsenal, the revolution that he did for that club in terms of he was the one that stopped players drinking and talked about the sports science and these things and the things that he brought in. Yeah, and then to go unbeaten and to do the invincible the way he did and the trophies he won early on. Yeah, him as well. But obviously he lost it towards the end of his career. But
hmm
his first half, that that winger right there,
Man came from Japan, bro.
yeah,
From
that winger right
Japan.
there was different. That winger right there was different when he and for me, growing up, the two teams that I feared the most was Arsenal and United. I didn't like going up against Arsenal because when you go up against Arsenal, you're going up against Vieira, Bergkamp,
I know,
Henri,
I know.
Perez, Lundberg. Then you're going up against United. You're looking at the strikers they had. The Dwight Yorks, Andy Coles, the Solskjaer's, those kind of players. Then you look at the Rooney
Ladimus
era.
Prime. Ladimus Prime. Bless up Ladimus Prime.
So like
Mm.
I feel like early 2000s, like it was those two teams that I didn't like playing, and then you had the arguments of like when Ashley Cole went to Chelsea, the Cole versus Evra kind of debates and stuff like that. There was always debates between our players and then Roy Keane. Roy Keane was always every time you saw him when it came to when he's about to go on the pitch, he just looked angry, and you just didn't want to go up against that.
hmm Yeah, man. Now we don't have that fire no more. It's like
No,
anybody could get 3 points from us now.
yeah,
Anybody. And
like,
it's embarrassing, bro. It's embarrassing. But
yeah,
what can I say? The pain, the pain, the pain. keep the pain coming, man. Next season is gonna be more pain for us because only giving this manager 10 games.
Yeah.
If I don't see no changes in 10 games, I'm checked out for the rest of the season. Yeah, man.
Oh,
So
10 games is generous, to be honest. I would only give it 5.
he said 5 games.
First 5. If I first 5 after transfer window, like yeah,
Mm.
yeah, I need to see 5.
Cause, bro, listen. If it was any other manager, he'd be sacked already, bro.
Yeah.
He'll be sacked already, bro. Yeah. So Chelsea in the next 2 to 3 years is going to win a Premier League. That's what you're feeling.
I think it will happen. But it just, as I said, these next 2 games will decide whether it's sooner or if it's going to be a bit later than 2 to 3 seasons. Because if we can get the CL football, if we can win the trophy, then it kind of puts us in a place where next season we have a good starting off point, especially with the Club World Cup as well. If we can get the right pieces in, then yeah. But it's good. It's going to be as I said, I think that this Forest game is going to really define whether it's going to be in 2 seasons, 3 seasons, or even longer than that, because it can be longer, especially the way that Liverpool are moving. You also got the likes of Man City, Newcastle are a dark horse as well if they get Champions League football as well. So that's the thing. I feel like when it comes to those type of questions, it's just it's this is the thing that football fans do a lot. They say what my team's going to do, but they don't look around them. They don't actually understand that there's other teams spending money, improving year on year. So as much as what you can do, you have to understand that your rivals are moving at the same time. And if your rivals are moving bigger and badder than you and going for bigger, badder players than you, then it makes the process even longer. So I get annoyed when I see what Liverpool are doing. I get annoyed when I see Man City spend 200 million in January. I get annoyed when I see that, and I say, why is my club not going to that level in order for us to win? So,
bro, listen, for me, yeah, not gonna underestimate Newcastle or Aston Villa either.
not so much Villa, but Newcastle. Because one thing about Newcastle is the more money that they are able to generate as a club with those owners, the moment they're able to spend big P's, it's going to be a problem.
Bro, listen, Unai Emery is gonna win Villa a trophy.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think if Villa get into Europa League next season, they'll win it, hands down. They'll be the favorites. Yeah, but if they're in Champions League, no. Because for me, Unai Emery is the greatest Europa League manager that I've seen in my lifetime. Like, for me.
Bro, he won it 3 times. 3 times, bro.
So yeah.
So I see him. Sorry, I see him winning it. I seen him winning a trophy for Villa. Some Villa fans don't believe it, but I see him winning Villa trophy. But for me, yeah, my club, we have a long way to go. Some people say, "Oh, we're going to finish top 6, top 7." No, we're not. No, we're not, bro. No, we're not. I would like that. That would be wonderful to finish in the top 6, top 7. But based on what I've seen this entire season, plus the final, no, bro.
It's depending on how much money you spend and how much money you have. So, looking at the way people are talking about your finances, it's probably going to take 5 seasons, maybe 5 seasons minimum. But if you can get your money up to the point where you can spend a ridiculous amount of money, then it could be quicker than that. It just depends.
Bro, under Radcliffe, no. This man sacking 200 more people.
Yeah, so money's not looking good at the moment. So yeah, it's gonna take 5, maybe 5 seasons minimum.
Yeah, Ray, it depends on the football we play. Yeah. Cause I'm telling you, man, I'm going to give this manager 10 games. 10 games, bro. And that's it. I'm not going no more than 10. The same thing I did with Ten Hag. I gave him 10 games, and look what happened. He was gone. Okay. But some people say I'm overreacting. Nah, bro. We need a winner. We need a serious winner. That's why I wanted us to keep Jose. If we had Jose, we wouldn't be in this problem. No. Jesus, bro. If we had Jose, we wouldn't be in this problem. But it is what it is. Um, let me see what Prime's saying. You can send it. All right, Prime. All right, Prime. I'll do that. I'll do that, Prime. I'll do that, Prime. Because Prime is a. I know you know Prime. He's a Chelsea fan, so
Yeah,
it would be good to hear from both of y'all right now, especially Prime with his analysis because you know what I like about Prime. Prime does his research when it comes to African players. He's like, no. All African players go to Chelsea. Chelsea is known for that.
yeah. We have a good history with African players. I like that. I like that. I like that. We do. I think that's what that's.
Yeah, and
I
I
think
think it's
that's what
because
we
of
need more of.
it's because of Jose, bro.
Yeah,
It's because of Jose, bro. For sure, bro. It's because of Jose. When I tell people that Jose Mourinho revolutionized football, oh no, he didn't. Other people, other people rejuvenized. I'm like, no, you got to give Jose his props too. But it's easier said than done, man. It's
yeah.
easier. It's easier said than done. So, King? What you got? What you got coming up next, man? What you got next? What you got coming up next?
Um, I'm gonna be on Aeon Sports in a bit to talk Formula One, so I'm gonna be on that, and then I'm planning to do in terms of my channel wrestling videos, and then I'll see if I'll do some other content as well. But outside of that, I'll always be on Aeon Sports. I'll be on this channel whenever you have me, and yeah, I just like talking sports really, whether it be football, basketball, Formula One, anything.
Yeah, man. And people, um, his link, the name for his channel is in the description, man. Check him out. Subscribe. I don't think he posts anything yet, but I want you guys to subscribe to his channel. He's working on some stuff. He's working on some stuff. I remember I was there. We're just trying to get him to his first 100 subscribers. If you get him to his first 100 subscribers, that'd be good. Matter of fact, I'll drop his link in the chat now. Give me a second, bro. Uh, so I didn't know you watch wrestling, bro. To be honest,
Yeah,
no idea.
yeah, I enjoy wrestling.
No idea you enjoy wrestling, bro.
Yeah.
Mm. So who's your
I'm
favorite
just a big
wrestler?
fan of in terms of wrestlers. Growing up it was Randy Orton.
Uh-huh.
Now I like Jacob Fatu.
Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, yeah. I like most of the Samoan, like the Usos as well as tag team Usos. Yeah, I like them as well.
Okay. The Usos, Rakishi's sons.
Yeah,
So yeah, people, his link is in the chat. So if you could help him get to 100 subscribers, his link is in the chat. Getting to the first 100 subscribers is not that easy, but if he could get to his first 100, that would be amazing. You know, trust me, it took me a minute to get to 100 subscribers. But in sports, man, I do tune in from time to time, especially when y'all do Formula One, and
yeah.
especially when y'all talk about basketball, bro. I know Alkavin was happy as hell when Knicks lost. I knew he
Oh
was
yeah,
happy as hell.
yeah.
He's like, yo, because we was doing a stream. Saturday, he said, yo, before we went to stream, he said, bro, the Knicks, man, I hate the Knicks with a passion, bro. I hate
Yeah.
those man with a passion. I'm like,
No, I feel it.
yo,
I feel it. I feel it, man. Like that Boston New York rivalry, it runs deep. It runs
yeah,
deep.
man, because I guess he said a relative of his used to do college in Boston, so
Yeah,
that's how he became a Boston Celtics fan. So I think he said he came to America like 7 or 8 times already. So
yeah.
he said that's how he became a Boston Celtic fan. I don't know if he's been to a Celtic game before, but bro, the man said, "Yo, I hate the Knicks with a passion." so, so tell me your dream premier, your dream signings and your dream starting 11 for Chelsea.
What for next season?
in general? Any?
What do you mean, like all time 11
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's okay, Chelsea all time 11. I would say Peter Cech in goal.
Mm-hmm.
Left back Ashley Cole, centre backs Terry and Carvalho, right back. Ooh, I'll give it to Aspilicueta. I think he was. Yeah, I will give it to Aspilicueta. I'll do a 4-3-3. I'll do three midfield. The DM. Oh, that's a difficult one. You know what? No, DM. I'm gonna go Makelele. I'm gonna go old school for that.
Man, say
Gonna
gonna
go
go old school.
old school Makelele. Yeah, man. I loved him. I loved him growing up. He was the originator of the DM position for me, man. He was the
Mm.
original one. He was the guy that everyone emulated after that when it came to DMs. He was the guy, the originator of just doing the simple things and making it look easy. Just doing the simple things, make it look easy. And if you didn't hear about him, you knew he did his job. In terms of two centre mids, I would say Lampard and who would be my other centre mid? I'll give it to Fabregas, Lampard and Fabregas. And then the front three, left wing Hazard, right wing Robin, up front Drogba.
I was about to say, what about Drogba? I was about to say, what about Drogba? Because bro, for me, Drogba, bro, I told you, anytime when Drogba played against us, I was afraid because you didn't know where this man was gonna score, but he scored. And he won the Premier League with y'all, and he won the Champions League with y'all, bro. And Drogba is a very highly rated player. Let's see what this guy said. Cause this is an Arsenal fan in the chat, by the way, bro. He's not coming to Arsenal. Bro. Good luck.
He's about to win the Champions League, hopefully.
Yeah, but he ain't coming to Arsenal, bro. Good luck though. Good luck though. Maybe in the next century when he retired from football.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So people, this is African King, man, the Chelsea fan, man. You know, man, he talks sports with Alcavin, you know, on Aeon Sports. He is a passionate Chelsea fan. He speaks the truth. He doesn't sugarcoat shit, just like me. And listen, I like people that don't sugarcoat shit. If they rate a player, they rate the player regardless of the team. I don't know about the rival part, but my rivals all the same. Everybody know who my rival is, but this man has two rivals in London: the Spurs that cooked us, and the Arsenal for sure. But which team do you dislike? You say you dislike the most?
For me, growing up, to be honest, it's funny enough. Growing up, it was actually Man United that I hated because they would cause me pain. It would cause me pain. There'll be so many times it would be a final we'd lose to you or we'd come second to you. So growing up, it was United. But in terms of currently, I think for me, is Spurs number one. Battle of the Bridge, if you saw that, like when we stopped them winning the league, you know, I was happy. I was happy as hell that Leicester won that league. So, for me, Tottenham would be number one. Arsenal is number two, but it's not so much the actual the team itself or the organization Arsenal, because I've liked some of the teams in the past. As I said, some of my favorite players I've played for Arsenal, like like Bergkamp's, Henry's, and players of that ilk.
Yep.
So, but their fans annoy the hell out of me, especially the ones that are, you know, the ones that believe that they're going to do something and they never do. It's like the delusional ones. It gets
no,
on my
bro,
nerves.
yeah, bro. You know who's a delusional fan for me for Arsenal? Ty. That brother. That guy.
Yeah.
Bro,
He
that
pretty
guy.
much summarizes what the type of Arsenal fan I don't like. It's like, come on, man. You need to know your level.
Bro, that guy says Arsenal is a bigger club than Real Madrid. I'm like,
yeah,
what?
yeah. That's
what,
what I'm saying.
What?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
What's man talking about? Arsenal is a bigger club than Real Madrid. Don't feel like because you beat them twice in your club's history that you think they're a bigger club than you. They have 15 Champions League for a reason, man.
Yeah.
15. So imagine if they get Real Madrid in the Champions League again under a different manager with different tactics. What the hell do you expect? You think it's going to be the same result like last time? No, it won't be. So for me, you already know it's Liverpool, Liverpool. That's what I call them, and they will always walk alone. So King, for me, yeah, if you were to take players from different teams in the Prem, right, or the Bundesliga, La Liga, how would what would be your most ultimate starting 11? Your ultimate,
Ultimate. Do you want me to do all time or current?
both.
Both. Okay, so in terms of all time, that is a difficult one. Okay, so goalkeeper. Who was the ultimate goalkeeper for me? You know what? I'm gonna give it to Buffon for goalkeeper.
Yes, I was going to say Buffon.
Buffon. Left back. I've got two names on my head. You know what? I'm gonna say Roberto Carlos.
Mm.
Right back, Cafu. Centre backs is difficult. Centre backs. Centre backs. Give me Puyol and Ferdinand. Give me Puyol and Ferdinand.
Puyol and Ferdinand. Carlos Puyol and Ferdinand. Okay.
Yeah, give me them two. I need a Rolls Royce and I just need a crazy man leader. That's what I need.
The Rolls Royce and the crazy man. So who's gonna be the crazy
that's
man?
what I need. Puyol, man. Puyol's that crazy man. He's crazy.
Yeah.
I liked him a lot. Even though I hated his team. DM. Oof, that's a lot. Damn, that's a lot of names. You know, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna just have 3 CMs. I'm gonna have Vieira. Actually, no, 2 CMs in the cam. I'm gonna have Vieira. Yeah, Vieira. Who else? Trying to think of names. It's hard to think of names right now. Vieira. The cam is definitely Zidane. The other CM. So just something crazy. I need to just go something crazy. You know what? Why not? Vieira, Gerrard, Steven Gerrard, and Zidane. Not any particular reason. I'll go them 3.
That's why I like asking these questions. Hey, give me 1 second. Yeah, landlord just texted me, so I gotta see what she wants. Give me a sec.
No problem.
What? Give me a sec.
Alright, while he's gone up, the front 3. I'll probably repeat it when he comes back, but front 3, left wing Ronaldinho, up front R9, right wing. Right wing. Who do I want to put on the right? Damn, I got names in my head. You know what I'm gonna? Yeah, I'll be different as well. I'll put David Beckham there. I'm gonna lie. I need a guy that can score free kicks, duke up corners. Yeah, I think David Beckham needs a bit more respect out here. So I'll put David Beckham on the right. Do that for now. And in terms of what current is a bit easier because there's not that many great players in terms of the current. Goalkeeper's probably Donnarumma. Left back. It's not even really good left backs like that. Alphonso Davies, right back. Reece James, centre backs. Van Dijk, Saliba probably. Oh no. Van Dijk, Bastoni. Actually, I'll give it to Bastoni over Saliba. Midfield. We'll do 3 midfield. DM, Rodri. CM's probably Pedri and I'm thinking of one of the PSG ones, either Neves or Vitinha, or I'll just give it to Vitinha. And then front three would be right wing. I'll give it to Yamal. Left wing. No, I think left wing. Who's a left wing? I'll give it to KK. And up front, who is the striker currently that I like the most? Honestly, for me, it's Isak. I would say, for me, it's Isak. Yeah, that's my 2 teams. Now we wait for Rasta to come back. If anyone's in the comments, put some players that I forgot, because there's a lot of players in terms of like all time. I keep forgetting, especially when it comes to like old school Serie A. I like the Milan teams. I used to. I forgot about Pirlo. You know what? I'm swapping Gerrard with Pirlo. Swapping Gerrard with Pirlo. I'm doing that. Why not? See, it's just like thinking about it. There's Baggio. Yeah. I'm too young for Baggio. It was a bit past my time. I'm trying to think like early 2000s, specifically like, so early 2000s were, in terms of that was the Mourinho team, the Wenger team, Alex Ferguson. In terms of like Barcelona, Real Madrid, you obviously had the Pep team, you had the Madrid teams, the Galacticos, your Figos, Beckhams, them players there. The funny thing about the early 2000s is I'm pretty sure that was around the time where the Serie A had that that controversy when they had the match fixing. Because before the match fixing controversy, Serie A was the best league in the world, and then literally it just damaged from then.
Sorry about that, bro. I had to go fix something
No problem.
for them, yeah, bro. But listen, bless up to my landlord because she hasn't raised my rent in a minute, so I make sure she called me to help with something. Cause, bro,
I feel that.
Yeah. But I was listening to you on my phone, bro. So you made up your mind and what you gonna do? Cause I know I had you thinking that. He's like, wait a minute, wait, no, wait, what? No.
Yeah, it's just that when it comes to doing all-time exercise, it's like there's so many names. But I will say this. For me, like in terms of overall 3 favorites all time, in terms of players that I really enjoyed, would be it's the Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, and then Zidane. Those are the 3.
Which Ronaldo? Which one?
R9.
Okay, phenomenon. Okay.
Yeah, phenomenon. Those were the 3 that helped. Those 3 in terms of worldwide helped me love the game, but in terms of Premier League, outside of my club, it was Henry, it was Bergkamp, and it was Paul Scholes as well. Paul Scholes.
Bro.
Gerrard was always one that I liked a lot because he was just the action man.
Bro, for me, let me tell you, Paul Scholes and Iniesta. You see them 2, bro. I wish Iniesta and Paul Scholes played for Man. I wish Iniesta played for Man United.
That Xavi Iniesta partnership was. You got to take both. They come like.
bro. But Iniesta is way better than Xavi. Way better.
Yeah.
But me personally, bro, Paul Scholes, bro. If I could get prime Paul Scholes back in my team right now, forget about it, bro. Just forget about it. But we cannot reminisce on the past We cannot reminisce on the
Yeah.
past. So what time you start AN Sports?
As
With
soon
the,
as this finishes,
soon
I
as
think.
finish. Okay, okay. So I ain't gonna. I'm not gonna keep you any longer on the stream than you need to be. You know what I mean? So people in the chat, if you haven't subscribed to my brother's channel, please subscribe to his channel. The link is his link is in the description. We're trying to get him to 100 subscribers. All right, subscribe
Okay.
to his channel. He's a passionate Chelsea fan. I'm a passionate Man United fan. You know, so we're just trying to help the passionate fans grow. Fans that's gonna speak the truth. Fans that not going to sugarcoat shit. So subscribe to the man, please. So, bro, before we close this show up, right? What was the most memorable trophy for you?
Memorable was the first Champions League.
Mm, yeah, I could never get the first Champions League. I could never forget it.
First one, 2012. I remember because I was in school. I was watching it on a small TV on my bed, and I was watching the penalties against Bayern because we
Hmm.
were in their stadium, Allianz Arena,
Hmm.
and I couldn't look. I was like this. I was
So
like
you
this.
got traumatized from the last time.
Yeah, I was just like this.
But
Did we
but to be
score? Did we
yeah,
score?
but to be fair, in Moscow, Russia, bro, it was raining then too. To be fair,
Yeah.
well,
So
it was raining. It was raining. It was raining. But yeah,
yeah,
man.
that because the great thing about that one is the running as well, the
Mm,
Torres moment as well. Well, the whole running into that because it felt like we were never going to win it because there was that the season we lost to you, the season where we got screwed by the ref against Barca in the semis, the amount of
mhm,
times that we were this close from getting it, and just to finally like towards the end of that era, the Drogba Lampard era, for us to get it, the Drogba
mhm.
Lampard Terry era, just to get it then for those players as well, they deserved that. They deserved it more than anything, and it
So
was funny. We were the worst version of us when we won it, but it felt so good.
so speaking of Torres, right? You think that was a good signing when he came back from Liverpool?
It wasn't a good signing. No. For a long time he didn't score. He was very injury prone when he came to us, and it w- to be fair, when it came to the strikers, we bought a lot of them past their best. There's there's only two strikers that I've said that have been successful at our club, and that's Drogba and Diego Costa. The rest of them have been had good moments. So your Hernan Crespo had good moments. Your Torres had good moments. Um, Eto had good moments. Demba Ba had good moments, but as an overall package, those were the only two that were successful for us. Like as you see, Chelsea have the striker curse, the number 9 curse, and it's been going on for a while. And he was a part of that kind of curse, and
Mm,
it's unfortunate because the fans wanted him to be successful, but when you lose your confidence as a footballer and you're a confidence-based striker, especially in the striker position, that's hard to get back. That's
mhm,
very hard to get back, and
mhm,
I don't think he ever recovered from that. To be honest, I don't really
mm.
think he ever recovered from that.
So people, you heard him loud and clear, bro. You heard the man loud and clear. I asked him honest questions. I asked him no beating around the bush questions, questions that me as a fan would ask another fan. I didn't really get too much into detail because there's going to be another part of this. So this is phase one. There's going to be a phase two. He will be back on the channel, people. Whether it we be co-hosting or just me talking to him about Chelsea or just another interview, he'll be back. You'll see him around. Get used to him, folks. Until then, we are out of here.